In today's video, I'm going to be rebuilding the Phoenix Suns around Devin Booker. This past trade deadline, there was a lot of rumors about Bradley Beal going to be traded, but of course he has the no trade clause on his contract, which basically keeps him in control of where he wants to go. So he was not traded, and then the Phoenix Suns were exploring trade packages for Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant found out about that. And clearly he was not too happy, since now there's rumors going around that he'll be traded this coming off season. He no longer wants to play with the Phoenix Suns. And of course, if they continue playing how they've been playing this season, I'm pretty sure he'll be requesting a trade anyways. The Phoenix Suns have a record of 26 wins and 28 losses, which makes them the 11th seed. So they're not even a play-in team at the moment, let alone a playoff team. The only move they made this season was basically getting Nick Richards as their new starting center. I like this trade a lot, but they most definitely should have made a few more changes to the roster, possibly trading away Tyus Jones. They could have traded away Grayson Allen, but it is what it is. We'll be pulling off some trades this offseason. We may even be trading away Kevin Durant, since in real life he does want to play on a different team, a lot of sources are saying. So we're going to be exploring some trade options for Kevin Durant this offseason. I'm not sure we're going to be making the playoffs, but I guess we'll see. I'm going to be simulating until the end of the season, and we'll see if we can make the playoffs or not. This here is what our rotation is going to be looking like for the second half of the season. I pushed Bradley Beal's position to point guard, so he's going to be our starting point guard for the second half of this season. Our starting five is going to include Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Royce O'Neal, Kevin Durant, and Nick Richards. And then off the bench, we're going to have Tyus Jones, Grayson Allen, Mason Plumlee, and Ryan Dunn. So we're going to be running a 9-man rotation. Let's see how this plays out. Royce O'Neal's a good 3-point shooter, also a really good defender. Bradley Beal has been struggling, but he's been playing really good off the bench so far for the Phoenix Suns. But I decided we're going to try running him at the point guard position and put him back in our starting lineup, and that makes Tyus Jones our 6th man. And now I'll be simulating until the end of this season, and we'll see if we can make the playoffs. And at the end of season number 1, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins MVP, averaging 33 points per game. Alexander Sarr wins Rookie of the Year, Naz Reid wins 6th Player of the Year, Wemby DPOY, Amin Thompson Most Improved Player, Trae Young wins Clutch Player, Joe Mazzulla winning Coach of the Year, and then the Cleveland Cavaliers win Executive of the Year. Let's see if we get any All-NBA selections, which we do not. And we don't get anyone on All-Defensive Team either, or on Rookie Team. And we were not in the play-ins, and we were neither in the playoffs, so we're out of the playoffs for this season. We had a record of 43 wins and 39 losses. So we were positive, but we still ended up missing out on the playoffs. I believe we were the 11th seed. Let me just double check that. And we were the 11th. Yeah, we were the 11th seed with 43 wins and 39 losses. So of course we're going to be pulling off some trades this offseason in order to make us championship contenders, because that's the whole goal of this video, to win us a championship. And if you guys are enjoying this video so far, please make sure to drop a thumbs up. It supports my channel a lot, and also hit that subscribe button for more NBA rebuilds. Let me show you guys our player stats for the regular season. So our leading scorer was Kevin Durant, averaging 27 points per game on amazing efficiency, 26 from Booker, 19 from Bradley Beal. At the point guard position, his playmaking was not there at all, or under 4 assists for a point guard is pretty bad. 11 from Grayson Allen, 11 from Tyus Jones. We're going to be losing Tyus Jones this offseason. Since he's going to be a free agent, he's going to be wanting more than a minimum contract this time around. And we don't have the money to bring him, so we're going to be losing Tyus Jones. In my opinion, the Phoenix Suns should have traded him at the trade deadline when they had the chance. His value was really high because of how good of a playmaker he is. He can score around 10 to 15 points per game. He can average around 7, 8, even 9 assists per game. and he barely turns over the ball, so they should have traded him when they had the chance. Nick Richards with not even the first season, this was about a half season with the Suns, he played absolutely amazing. 9 from Royce O'Neal, who struggled big time, so clearly we need a new starting small forward for this coming season. Bol played a few games in real life with the Suns, and he's actually been pretty good. But let's see who goes on to win the championship this time around, and Stephen Curry is in the NBA Finals. He wins Western Conference Finals MVP, Jason Tatum winning Eastern Conference Finals MVP. This is a rematch of the 2022 NBA Finals. I believe that was the 2021 or 2022 Finals where the Celtics versus the Golden State Warriors. I think that was the 2021-22 season, yeah. So clearly the Jimmy Butler trade has worked out for the Warriors in 2K simulation at least. Let's see if they go on to win a championship and they get swept by the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum winning Finals MVP. The Celtics have a grudge against Steve Kerr clearly because of what he did to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum in the Olympics, not playing them, and they showed out and swept the Warriors. I'm going to overturn a few of these retirements, and then I'll be seeing you guys either the NBA draft or free agency, where we're going to be pulling off some big trades. We have ended up with the 28th overall pick from the Cleveland Cavaliers in this year's NBA draft. Our own pick went at pick number 12 to the Houston Rockets, and clearly that's not lottery protected, which means we won't be able to get that pick back, and that sucks. But it is what it is. I'm pretty sure we also have one second round pick. So we have the 28th overall pick in the first round, and then we have the 25th overall pick in the second round. I'm not sure who we're going to be selecting, but of course I'll be looking around and seeing if there's any good players that we could select, or we could possibly trade our first round pick and some players to upgrade our roster. I'm going to look around the league and see what type of trades we can pull off, and I'll show you guys what trades those will be. As I said, we were possibly going to be trading away Kevin Durant this offseason, and I'm pretty sure that the Phoenix Suns would trade him after 2 years of failure. They did not even make it to the playoffs this past season. So we're most definitely going to be trading away Kevin Durant and building around Devin Booker, hopefully making us championship contenders. There's 2 trade offers that we could pull off. One is for Trae Young and Jalen Johnson, and the other is from the Cleveland Cavaliers for Evan Mobley and Darius Garland. I'm pretty sure this is a trade we're going to be pulling off. This would be an insane trade package to pair up with Devin Booker. They're around Devin Booker's age group as well, 24 years old for Evan Mobley and 25 for Garland. We would have to give up Kevin Durant, a first round pick, 2 first round picks, and Cody Martin. I'm pretty sure this is a trade we're going to be pulling off, so let's go ahead and send the Cleveland Cavaliers Kevin Durant, 2 first round picks, and Cody Martin for Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. This helps out our team a lot since we do need a point guard, and Darius Garland is an amazing playmaker, can score around 20 a night, and we also get one of the best defensive power forwards in the league that can average a double-double on every single given night. So let's go ahead and pull this trade off, and now we got ourselves a big 3 of Devin Booker, Evan Mobley, and Darius Garland. But we're not done there, because we still need ourselves a new starting small forward, since Royce O'Neal is definitely not going to be our starting small forward after the horrible season he just had offensively. So we're going to be targeting Dillon Brooks from the Houston Rockets, who's turned out to be a pretty good 3-point shooter this season, shot around 38%, and he's also an amazing defender. I'm not the biggest fan of Dillon Brooks in real life, but in order for us to win, we need some defensive players on our roster. So we're going to try pulling this trade off with the Houston Rockets, where we acquire Dillon Brooks and Reed Shepherd, and we send them Bradley Beal and also Iguodala. Let's see what they say to this trade, and they do decline. They want 2 second rounders for a first round pick, and I'm totally fine with that. We also get ourselves Reed Shepherd, who could be our backup point guard behind Darius Garland. He has a ton of potential. And just like that, we got ourselves Dillon Brooks and Reed Shepherd. Reed Shepherd has a lot of potential. I'm excited to see how he progresses this offseason. I'm not sure if we're going to be pulling off any more trades. Maybe we may upgrade our center position, but I'll look around the league and I'll show you guys if there's any trades that I come across. There is a few centers that I have in mind that I would love to bring on our team to be our new starting center. The first center we're going to be targeting is Zubac from the LA Clippers, where we take Zubac and send them Nick Richards and Royce O'Neal. Let's see what they say to this trade, and they do decline. But we could use our first round pick, which I totally forgot about. We could use 2 first round picks to be exact. They are only 1-star trade value, but maybe that'll get it done. Let's see. So they do decline 1 first rounder and they decline 2 first rounders. So we're not getting Zubac, but I do still have a few more centers in mind that we're going to be trying to trade for. And now we're going to be targeting Derek Lively II from the Dallas Mavericks. If they do decline this trade, we'll be targeting Daniel Gafford, which I'm pretty sure will be a lot easier to get done. So let's see what they say for Derek Lively II, and we also have to take on Jaden Hardy's contract in order to make this trade work, where we send them Royce O'Neal and Nick Richards. They do decline this trade, but we do have a few first round picks, like I said, that we could use. And yeah, this trade is not happening, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We're going to be targeting Daniel Gafford now. What I ended up doing was in free agency, I signed a few players on minimum contracts like Monte Morris, Vince Williams Jr., and now I'm going to trade them away for first round picks. As you guys can see, there's a lot of teams willing to give us first round picks. Then we can use these picks in order to try getting us Derek Lively. I think the Dallas Mavericks will most definitely play ball with us if we send them a few more picks. So I'm going to be pulling off a few trades here for first rounders, and then we'll be talking with the Dallas Mavericks once again. We're back talking with the Dallas Mavericks after acquiring ourselves some first round picks, and now we can do straight up Nick Richards for Derek Lively II. It wasn't allowing us to do this before, but now we can. So let's try pulling this trade off now with the first round picks that we acquired. I got ourselves a bunch of first round picks, and I'm pretty sure that they'll accept this trade after we throw in 2 to 3 first rounders. And they do still decline for 2 first round picks. Now we throw in a third, and they're still declining this trade. That's a lot of picks for Derek Lively II, but I'm totally fine with doing these trades in order to get ourselves an amazing big man like Derek Lively, which we just did. We sent away Nick Richards and 4 first round picks in return for Derek Lively. We now do need a backup center, so I'm going to look around in free agency to see if there's a backup center that we can sign. Possibly Mason Plumlee we can sign and then trade him for a different backup center. So I'm going to see what we're going to be doing for that position. We can really go out there and bring Nick Richards back to our team after just trading him away to the Dallas Mavericks, and I think that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Richards didn't have much time to play with our team. He had about half of a season. So let's go ahead and pull this trade off and bring him back to our team as our backup center. We're going to be sending away Mason Plumlee and Royce O'Neal, and we get ourselves Nick Richards. We also get ourselves Caleb Martin, which is a pretty good pickup for our team. He could be our backup small forward instead of Royce O'Neal. And now we're ready for the next season, and sorry about that. That was just my phone vibrating, but I'll be seeing you guys at the start of this coming season with our new rotation. Here we are at the start of this season with our insane new rotation. Our starting 5 is going to include Darius Garland, Devin Booker, Dillon Brooks, and Evan Mobley, as well as Derek Lively II. And then off the bench, we're going to have Ryan Dunn, Nick Richards, Grayson Allen, and Reed Shepherd. So we're going to be running a 9-man rotation once again. Caleb Martin won't be a part of our rotation as of right now. Unless there's a player on the bench not playing well, we can always switch him out. I did move Dillon Brooks' position from power forward to small forward, and as you guys can see, his overall is now up to an 85, which is pretty insane. In my opinion, we're a championship team. We'll see what 2K thinks about us. Our starting 5 is absolutely elite. We have defense mixed with offense, so I'm excited to see how things play out. Let's simulate game number 1 against the Pistons and see how we play. We do lose game number 1 against the Pistons. Garland had 32, 20 from Booker, 12 from Dunn, 11 from Mobley. But clearly some chemistry still needs to be built. And once the chemistry is built, I'm pretty sure we'll go on a winning spree. Game number 2 against the Lakers is a win, with Darius Garland putting up 33 points and 14 assists on only 1 turnover. Devin Booker had 32, Evan Mobley with 26 and 16 rebounds. As I said, chemistry needs to be built, and clearly it's already being built. Now I'll be simulating until the end of this season, but if there's trades to be made, of course I'll be stopping at trade deadline to show you guys. We're able to give Dillon Brooks an extension, so we're going to go ahead and give him a 2-year extension worth around $18 million a year, and he does accept that. We're also going to be giving Derek Lively the 2nd extension, and he wants a lot more money. He wants $35 million a year, but obviously we're going to go ahead and give that to him. Since he is our starting center, he's young, he's a good player, has a lot of potential. But let's lower it a little bit if possible. We can lower it to around $32 million annually, I believe. So let's see if he accepts that, and he does. And now we have him on a contract for the next 6 years. At the end of this season, Nikola Jokic wins MVP, Cooper Flagg wins Rookie of the Year, and somehow he ended up with the Philadelphia 76ers. They acquired him with a 1st overall pick. That's pretty insane. So the 76ers had the 1st overall pick for Markelle Fultz and I believe Ben Simmons, which is pretty crazy. And now Cooper Flagg. Naz Reid wins 6th Player of the Year with the New York Knicks. Naz Reid was traded to the New York Knicks. That's pretty insane. And now he's the 6th Player of the Year over there. Wemby wins Defensive Player of the Year. His points per game took a huge dip from the previous season, but his efficiency definitely got a lot better. Jalen Tyson, Most Improved. Trae Young wins Clutch of the Player, and then Greg Popovich, Coach of the Year, and the Spurs also win Executive of the Year. Let's see, and we do get Evan Mobley on All NBA First Team. That's pretty insane. I did not expect him to be on All NBA First Team, but he had an amazing season, which I'll show you guys here in a second. We don't get Garland or Devin Booker on All NBA, which is fine. We also get Evan Mobley on All Defensive First Team. He makes All Defensive First Team and All NBA First Team both in the same season, which is a huge accomplishment. And then we don't have anyone else here, which is fine. And we were the 2nd seed, and in round number 1 we're going to be taking on Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. I'm not sure how they were a playing team, but they were. Let me show you guys our player stats for the regular season. So our leading scorer was Devin Booker, averaging 25 points per game, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds on really good efficiency, basically shooting 50, 40, 90. And then we have Darius Garland, 21.5 points per game and 9 assists. So he was an amazing playmaker for our team, shooting nearly 50, 40, 80, shot 43% from the 3-point line. And then here is our All NBA First Team player, Evan Mobley, averaging 21.5 points per game, 11.5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.3 steals, and 2 blocks per game, shooting 50% from the field, 35 from the 3-point line. Derek Lively II was also an amazing get for our team. He was averaging a 13-point double-double as well as 2 blocks and 2.5 assists. He's a pretty underrated playmaker. 12 from Dillon Brooks, 12 points per game on amazing efficiency. He shot 37% from the 3-point line. Grayson Allen in the limited minutes was shooting nicely for us off the bench, same as Ryan Dunn, Nick Richards, and Reed Shepherd. Reed Shepherd to start the season was not playing good at all, but he started playing better towards the second half of the season. Now I'm going to fix up our player minutes and then we'll get right into these playoffs. Alright, so in round number 1 we got ourselves the Denver Nuggets, who got themselves Ty Jerome from the Cleveland Cavaliers. They also have Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon, and Jokic in their starting 5. They have MPJ, Aaron Wiggins, Julian Strother, and Deron Holmes II off of their bench. Let's see how things go. Game number 1 is a loss for us. Something I'm surprised by is how were the Denver Nuggets the 8th seed? That makes absolutely no sense. Their starting 5 is stacked. Their whole team is stacked. They have 8 players that are 80 overall or higher. So I don't understand how they ended up as the 8th seed. Game number 2 is also a loss for us, which puts us down 2-0. So clearly the team that was supposed to be easy for us, a play-in team, had to be the Denver Nuggets, who are beating us 2-0. I'm going to come up with a defensive coach game plan, and then we'll see how things go from there. And I'm pretty sure we lost both games at home, which is horrible. And now the next 2 games they're going to have in Denver. I literally found out the reason we've been losing these past 2 games against the Denver Nuggets. Derek Lively the second is averaging 6 fouls per game, so he's being fouled out in every game in the playoffs so far. And then Darius Garland is also averaging a bunch of fouls. He also got fouled out. He's averaging 5.5 fouls per game as a point guard. So what I did is lowered their foul tendencies, which means they won't be fouling as much, because their foul tendencies were way too high, especially Darius Garland was like a 99. And Darius Garland doesn't foul all that much in real life for his foul tendency to be a 99. So I switched that up, and let's see if we can win game 3 here to go back 2-1, and then we could hopefully tie up the series. The Nuggets do have home court advantage here, but let's see what happens. And so far we do have the lead, and we do end up winning by 10 points. Let's see if anyone fouled out this time. None of our players fouled out, luckily, and that's probably one of the reasons why we won this game. Because Derek Lively was damn near averaging 6 fouls a game, which is pretty insane. I've never seen that before for a player. And then, yeah, this game was a lot better for our players offensively. Dillon Brooks, oh my god. Okay, wait a second. I thought Dillon Brooks had a double-double, but Dillon Brooks did have 32 points. Amazing offensive game from our guys. Let's see if we can tie up this series here to 2-2. They do have home court advantage once again, but that is all right. As long as we can get this win and we end up losing. We almost came back there in the 4th quarter, but not quite. So none of our players fouled out in this game. They all played good, but our defense wasn't really there. Jokic is a main problem for this team, and he's not even really playing all that good this playoff run. He's shooting below his field goal percentage in the regular season. And I totally forgot to come up with a coach game plan for Ty Jerome. I forgot about him. So let me fix up a few things before we jump into the next game. Alright, I also adjusted the players' shot tendencies a little bit. Evan Mobley's shot tendency I did higher, since he's our second scoring option so far in the playoffs. Let's see what happens here in game number 5, where we do have home court advantage. So far they are destroying us, and we are going to be eliminated in the first round to the play-in team. How were the Denver Nuggets a play-in team? I still don't get this. Like, how is this team a play-in team? Just tell me that. How did they end up as the 8th seed? Whatever it is, what it is. We'll do all we can this offseason. Pull off some more insane trades. And the play-in team is now in the NBA Finals. And they do end up losing, though, to the Pacers, thankfully. Halliburton won Finals MVP. I still don't understand how the Denver Nuggets were a play-in team and ended up all the way in to the NBA Finals. But clearly that tells us if we're being eliminated by a play-in team, there's most definitely some trades we need to make in order to make our team a lot better. I'm probably going to be upgrading our bench, but I am going to overturn a few of these retirements, and then I'll see you guys either at free agency or the NBA draft, depending on if we have any picks. So I am going to be firing our head coach, Mike Budenholzer. Of course, the reason is pretty clear. We had a super team and he couldn't get us out of the first round. And I'm pretty sure that was not on the players. All the players were playing amazing, so that was most definitely on Mike Budenholzer. We can get ourselves Joe Mazzulla, but we don't have the money to get Joe Mazzulla, really. we can only spend around $7.15 million. I'm not sure if that's going to be able to land us Joe Mazzulla. I really hope it does. I'm not sure why we don't have much salary that we can spend for a head coach. We only have around $7 million. But if we're not able to get Joe Mazzulla, we can also offer money to Jason Kidd. There's also Michael Stauffer, who we could offer a contract to if neither of these two coaches accept. So let's see. And yeah, neither of them are going to be accepting. And I'm going to look around if there's any other decent head coaches. If not, we're most definitely going for Michael Stauffer. But luckily, we're still able to get this guy here named Clifton McCaw. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. So let's go ahead and offer him this contract, and he does accept. And he's a really good defensive head coach and almost a 5-star offensive head coach, which is amazing. I'm going to finish filling out the rest of our roster, or the rest of our staff, sorry, and then I'll be seeing you guys at free agency. Also, we ended up with a 15th overall pick, the Chicago Bulls pick to be exact. I'm not sure how we acquired this pick, but I'm pretty sure we traded for it the last off season. So I'll be showing you guys who we're going to be selecting here in a second. So the highest overall players in this draft left on the draft board are Jalen, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, or Jasper Johnson. They both have all NBA ceilings, but we're going to go ahead and sign Jasper since he has an A+ 3-point shot. The rest of his overalls are really nice, whereas Jalen has a C+ 3-point shot. We're going to go ahead and pick up Jasper Johnson with our 15th overall pick. Now we still have a 2nd round pick, which I'm not sure who we'll be selecting. I guess we'll go ahead and pick Cliff Garnett. That's it for the 2026 NBA draft. And of course, we're going to be picking up the team option on Ryan Dunn and Reed Sheppard. Hopefully these two progress a lot this offseason, and I'm pretty sure they'll be progressing a lot. I'm excited to see how much they progress. I know Ryan Dunn doesn't progress too much in 2K, but I do think Reed Sheppard goes up to like an 80 something overall, so I'm excited to see how that goes. Qualifying offer, we're not going to give Quentin Jackson. Let's see if there's anyone we need to bring back. So we only need to bring back Nick Richards in free agency, which we'll be able to do since he doesn't want too much money. And we can also bring players like Tobias Harris, Dorian Finney-Smith, Marcus Smart. I'm going to look around and see what we need on our team. What I want on our team is some good defensive players. I'll show you guys why. So this past season, we had the best offense in the entire league, but our defense was average. We were basically an average team. We were basically the 15th best defensive team, which is literally average. So we're going to try upgrading our defense this off season. So I'll show you guys which moves we're going to be pulling off. So of course we are going to be signing Nick Richards to continue being our backup center. He was an amazing backup center for us. He's also a good defender, so we're going to go ahead and give him that contract. And I also think we're going to get Dorian Finney-Smith. He's a 3-and-D wing. He has an A+ 3-point shot. He's a really good defender, and he could possibly be our backup power forward. I'll probably be moving his position to power forward. That way he could be on our bench as our backup power forward behind Evan Mobley, and both of those players do accept the contract. We got Nick Richards and Dorian Finney-Smith off of our bench, and both of these players are really good defenders. So there's some pretty good players that we can sign on our team for pretty cheap. One of them being Ben Sheppard. He's a really good perimeter defender. He's a good 3-point shooter, and we can get him for around $3.5 million. And we can also sign Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I'm going to try signing both of these players to bring on our team. They're both 3-and-D shooting guards, and we can have them a part of our rotation, which would mean we're probably going to be trading away Grayson Allen. Because again, we need to upgrade our defense, and Grayson Allen isn't really a good defensive player. But I am going to try signing Ben Sheppard here, and let's see what he says. I'm pretty sure we will be able to get him, and yeah, we can sign Ben Sheppard. But I am also going to try getting ourselves Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And yeah, we get Ben Sheppard. Now I'm going to try getting ourselves Nickeil Alexander-Walker, which hopefully we can. So yeah, we can also bring Nickeil. Actually, no, we can't. We're not going to be able to get Nickeil Alexander-Walker. But I'm fine with Ben Shepherd. He's a young player. He's probably going to be progressing this off season. So that's probably all I'm going to be doing this off season. I'm hoping the small changes we made to our roster will help us win this season. If not, of course, I'll be pulling off some trades by trade deadline. But also changing our head coach, I believe, is going to help us a ton. Now I believe we're going to be able to sign Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I skipped about 9 days in this free agency and now we're able to sign him, which is a good sign for us because he's also an amazing three-point shooter and amazing defender. But we are going to be trading away Grayson Allen since we no longer need him after getting ourselves Ben Shepherd and possibly Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And this here is a trade we're most definitely not passing up on. We're going to be getting ourselves Luke Dort and Yabusele for Grayson Allen, Caleb Martin, a second round pick. Yabusele will probably end up trading for a first round pick since we don't need him a part of our rotation. But Luke Dort we're most definitely going to have as our sixth man, as our backup small forward. One of the best defenders, an amazing three-point shooter, and now we have him on our team. Here we are at the start of this season with our new rotation. Our starting five is going to be the same as the previous season. We have Darius Garland, Devin Booker, Dillon Brooks, Evan Mobley, and Derek Lively II. Off the bench, we're going to have a different lineup with Reed Shepherd as our sixth man. Then we have Luke Dort, Ryan Dunn, and Nick Richards. So Reed Shepherd now is up to a 84 overall, which is insane. Luke Dort, I moved his position to small forward, where his overall also jumped up by 2. I did move Ryan Dunn's position from small forward to power forward, and his overall dropped by 1, but that's not too bad. Now our whole 9-man rotation are either 80 overall or higher, which is pretty insane. Let's see how game 1 goes against the Charlotte Hornets, and we beat them by 17 points, Mobley with 35 and 15. D-Book with 25-23 from Garland. I'm excited to see how things play out this season. I'll be simulating until the end of this season. But of course, if there's trades to be made, I'll be stopping at the trade deadline to show you guys. I was looking at our player stats and I decided to check out the estimated wins added from our players. And there's 2 players that are giving us a negative impact, and that is Dillon Brooks and Ryan Dunn. So most definitely we're going to be trading them away for some new players. I'm going to look around the league and see who we could trade them for. When I come across some trades, of course, I'll be sure to show y'all. So we're going to be pulling off this trade here with the Minnesota Timberwolves, where we send them Jasper Johnson, who we acquired in the 2026 NBA draft, Dillon Brooks. We get ourselves Jaden McDaniels and Tyler Kolek. Jaden McDaniels is one of the best defenders in the league. And now he's also shooting the ball effectively, 38% from the three-point line and 46% from the field. So we're going to go ahead and pull this trade off and acquire Jaden McDaniels to be our brand new starting small forward. And in my opinion, this trade has made us a lot better. Jaden McDaniels was giving the Minnesota Timberwolves a positive impact in the estimated win ratio. So yeah, he's going to be our new starting small forward. I'm not sure if we're going to be pulling off any more trades. Well, there is one more trade that I totally forgot about. We still have to trade Ryan Dunn. We're going to be pulling off this trade here with the Cleveland Cavaliers, where we get ourselves Jalen Tyson and David Roddy for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Ryan Dunn, and a first round pick. Jalen Tyson is a good three-point shooter. He's also a really good defender, and he also has a positive impact for the Cleveland Cavaliers when it comes to estimated wins added. So we're gonna go ahead and pull off this trade and get Jalen Tyson as our brand new backup power forward. That's it for trades this season, so I'll be seeing you guys at the end of this season with the awards. Now this is what our rotation will be looking for the second half of this season. We're going to have Darius Garland, Devin Booker, Jaden McDaniels as our brand new starting small forward, Evan Mobley, Derek Lively II, and then off the bench we're going to have Reed Shepherd, Luke Dort, Nick Richards, Jalen Tyson, and that's it. We're going to be running a 9-man rotation. Hopefully we're able to win ourselves a championship this offseason. And now I'll be simulating until the end of this season. At the end of this season, Evan Mobley wins MVP. Now that is pretty insane. I was not expecting Evan Mobley to be winning MVP, but clearly he did, averaging 24 points per game, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.5 steal, and 2.5 blocks. He was struggling from the 3-point line, but his efficiency from the field was still amazing. I did not think Mobley would be winning an MVP at all in this video, but honestly, that's a really good thing that he did. AJ DeBonsta wins Rookie of the Year, VJ Edgecombe 6th player, Wemby wins Defensive Player. I did think that Mobley possibly could have won Defensive Player of the Year, because he was averaging more blocks per game than Wemby, but he won MVP, which is one up than a Defensive Player in my opinion. Casper wins Most Improved Player, Paulo Banchero Clutch Player. Our coach wins Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive of the Year. And of course, the MVP is on all NBA first team all the way at the top. That's what happens when a player wins MVP. Amazing to see. Let's see if we get anyone else. No Booker, which is fine, but we do get Evan Mobley on all defensive first team. So it's pretty clear that he was second in the race of winning Defensive Player of the Year, right behind Victor Wembanyama. So he was really close to winning Defensive Player and MVP in the same season. That's it for awards. Now let's see who we're going to be facing up against. We were the number 1 seed, and in round number 1, we got the Houston Rockets. And we won 68 games, losing only 14. So we had an amazing season. Let me show you guys our player stats before we jump into the playoffs. So our leading scorer was Devin Booker, averaging 25 points per game. Right behind him was a defending MVP, Evan Mobley, with 24 points per game, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Then we have Darius Garland, 20 points and 9 assists. Derek Lively II with a 15-point double-double, as well as 2.5 blocks. 10.5 from Reed Shepard, 10 from Jaden McDaniels, and 10 from Jalen Tyson. I believe another problem we had last season was we didn't really have much scoring off of our bench. I don't think the previous season we had a single player that was averaging 10 or more points off the bench, but this season we almost have 3 players off the bench averaging 10 or more, which is a good sign. Now let me fix up our player minutes, and then we'll be taking on the Houston Rockets. I fixed up our player minutes. Now let's see if we can go on to win the championship. We're facing the Houston Rockets. Their starting lineup is Bogey Fland, Jalen Green, Amin Thompson, who's up to 90 overall, Jabari Smith Jr., Şengün, who's up to a 90 overall. And off the bench they have Cam Whitmore, Taurean Prince. Also, okay, so now they have Oso Iguodala on their team because we traded him for Dylan Brooks. Also have Luke Kennard. Let's see what happens. They are a play-in team, so hopefully we're able to defeat them pretty easily. But of course, last season the Denver Nuggets were a play-in team also, and they defeated us. Game number 1 is a win for us. Let's go. Devin Booker had 30 points, 29 from Garland, 19 from the MVP. Game number 2 is also a win for us. The MVP, Evan Mobley, with 32, 10, and 4, as well as 2 steals and 2 blocks. Booker with 28, Jaden McDaniels with 22. Let's go. Game number 3 puts us up 3-0. Mobley with 26, 23, and 13, as well as 8 assists from Derek Lively. Lively nearly had a triple-double. Booker had a double-double, and so did Garland. Game number 4, we end up sweeping the Houston Rockets just like that. Booker had 36, 33 from Derek Lively, who's going off so far in the playoffs. Garland had 28 and 15 assists. The MVP nearly had a triple-double. And now we're in the second round, facing up against the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans had one of the best offenses in the NBA this season. In the simulation, I believe. Let me just double check if that's true. and they had the 4th best offense. Last time I checked, they had the 2nd best, so yeah. They do have DeJounte Murray, Ace Bailey, AJ DeBonsa, and Zion Williamson, so they have 3 players, well 2 players that were the 1st overall pick, and Ace Bailey was a 3rd overall pick, so yeah, in their starting lineup. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 is a loss for us, but we do win game 2 and 3, and now we're up 3-1, and we gentlemen sweep the New Orleans Pelicans, which puts us in the conference finals, where we'll be taking on Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. Their starting lineup includes Jeremiah Fears, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell. They also got themselves Jaren Jackson Jr., so this team defensively is insane. And of course, they have Wemby off the bench. They have Jalen Duren, Mo Wagner, Max Strus, and Nikola Vucevic. I think we're the better team. They were the 6th seed, so hopefully we're able to defeat them. Game 1 is a win for us. Garland with a 36-point double-double. Mobley also had a double-double. Game number 2 is a win for us, which puts us up 2-0. And Derek Lively has been going off this playoff run. Bro's averaging 18 points per game as well as 3 blocks. He had 31 points in this game. Mobley had 28 points and 18 rebounds, as well as 3 blocks. Now let's see what happens here in game 3, which we do win, putting us up 3-0. Mobley with another double-double. D-Book had 25. Game number 4, we end up sweeping the San Antonio Spurs. Wemby only scored 13 points on us. Booker had 30 points that game. Garland had 25 and 10. Mobley had 19, 13, and 8, as well as 5 blocks. Pretty insane stuff. Jaden McDaniels has been really good for our team. Ever since we traded away Dylan Brooks, honestly, and moved on from our head coach, we've been a lot better. Now we're in the finals. We're either going to be taking on the 6th seed, the Toronto Raptors, or the number 1 seed, the Indiana Pacers, and it's going to be the Raptors. Evan Mobley wins Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 24 points and 14 rebounds. He's a rebounding machine right now, as well as 4 assists, 3 blocks. Scotty Barnes, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. So we're taking on the Toronto Raptors, and I'm pretty confident that we should be able to beat this team. The reason for that is they have 3 really good players in their starting lineup, and 2 of their really good offensive players. Our defense can totally lock them down. Jaden McDaniels could lock up Brandon Ingram without a problem, and Evan Mobley could lock up Scotty Barnes without a problem. So let's see what happens. Let's see what their bench is looking like. So they have Jimmy Butler coming off of their bench. No wonder, he's averaging 19 points per game in 23 minutes. Playoff Jimmy is real. No wonder they made it all the way to the finals, but let's see what happens. Game number 1 is a win for us. Booker puts up 31, 27, and 10 from Evan Mobley. So our whole team played absolutely amazing in that game. Hopefully we can keep this up. Game number 2 is also a win for us, which puts us up 2-0. Devin Booker had 37 points, 24 from the MVP, who's been playing absolutely amazing, shooting 40% from the 3-point line. Garland had 19, Derek Lively with 14, another amazing player. Tyson has been playing really good this playoff run as well. So he was also a really good pickup for our team. Game 3 puts us up 3-0 just like that. Garland had 33 points, 23 from Mobley, 21 from Reed Shepherd, who's shooting 40% from the 3-point line. Lively, another double-double. And is this going to be a sweep? It is. And just like that, the Phoenix Suns are your 2027 NBA champions, with Evan Mobley winning Finals MVP, averaging 24 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, as well as 2 blocks. And now let me show you guys our player stats before we end off this video for the playoffs. Evan Mobley was our leading scorer, 27 points per game, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. Amazing playoff run from Evan Mobley. Our second leading scorer was Devin Booker, putting up 26.5 points per game, as well as 6 assists on really amazing efficiency. Then we had Darius Garland averaging a 21-point double-double, 21 points and 10.5 assists, shooting 43% from the three-point line. 17 from Derek Lively, 13 from Jaden McDaniels. McDaniels was a really good get for our team. We didn't need him to score too much, but he was averaging just the perfect amount, 13 points per game. But his defense is what came in handy for our team. 1 block and 2 steals per game, 9 from Reed Shepherd, 8 from Luke Dort, another amazing get for our team. Now let me show you guys the NBA Finals stats. So for the finals, Devin Booker was leading the way with 24.5 points, 7 assists, 24, 10, and 3 from Evan Mobley, 23.5 from Darius Garland, 16.5 from Derek Lively, 13 from Reed Shepherd, 11 from Jaden McDaniels, and then the rest of the team. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. I make NBA 2K rebuild videos on my channel, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Like the video to support out my channel, and comment down below what video you guys would like to see next. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.